Hello, hi folks, family, friends, neighbors, other people, internet people, all you people, welcome back to Mike's Magic Card Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. It's a nice Saturday, about 2:45 in the morning. I got tied up doing some other stuff this morning and blah blah blah, like y'all care. And I'm getting ready to get back on this thing here, this 93 Honda Nighthawk 750, a very fast motorcycle. They're quick, they're legendary as being almost bulletproof too. And I've had a lot of mechanical work done there in that area. I've done a few other things myself, got a few other things to do. I had cleaned it up a couple of times, but not really gone in depth as we've been talking about the last couple of days. Hey Jenny. Look like y'all had a donut party or something there. Anyway, the sun's finally out. How nice. Hi, Jen. I'm loving the sun. As long as the sun's out, I don't care about anything else. But I was looking at the weather report, and Jenny, it doesn't look like this is going to last very long. I think they're going to get snow up in North Georgia here, or north of here in the next day or so. But all I'm going to get is rain. With the pink pancakes? Okay. Oh, and you guys are going out tonight. Excellent. Oh, boy. Anyway, Jen, I was just trying to updating everybody. All it ever does around here is rain. I polished up that area there. It came out nice. I went back and cleaned up the top end some on this side, but not as in-depth as I would like. I think I'm going to wait to do all that one day when I have time to take the gas tank off so I can access it better. But I finished this wheel. If y'all remember what it looked like, it was almost milky white and stained and all kind of bad stuff. And so I've cleaned and brushed and used all kind of methods on that wheel and got that looking pretty shiny down in there, pretty good, with some polishing, and did all this area up in here, repolished that shock. And then when I finished all that, I had to come over to this side. And I've experimented with this wheel some here, and I've wet sanded and all that kind of stuff this side of the wheel and the spokes. And I have not polished it yet, but I don't think it looks too bad even without polish. And I took a drill brush, etc. Hey Jeff, and some other, I think mostly the drill brush, and clean a lot of that. I'd say 95% plus of the rust that was on that. I guess that's a rotor, Jeff. You know more about motorcycles than I do, Sheriff. But got that all cleaned up, and like I say, I haven't polished it yet, but I will do that here in short order. And I'll repolish that shock tube or whatever it is you call it. And I worked on this side of the motor some. I'm going to go back and work on it some more because this side did not turn out as good as the other side did. But I cleaned up those fins some with a really stiff drill brush. Cleaned that off with a drill brush and went back and compounded it just a little bit. I haven't polished any of that yet, nor that wheel. So the polishing and all will help it tremendously. I can't really get to that piece down there, whatever the hell that is. I'm not sure, some kind of guard or something, I guess. And that round thing right there, what is that, Jeff? That's the starter, alternator, whatever that is. Can't really get access that too well on the top part, but I may be able to get to the end some more, do some more work on that, get it spiffed up. Not trying to make it look brand new, just trying to get it looking as good as I possibly can without taking the whole motorcycle apart, Jeff. But what I am going to do, Jeff, is one day when I got time, I've got a customer coming for an estimate. I think it's a Mercedes. And one day when I have time, I can take that gas tank off. I'll be able to access some of that better. And you can see how I have wet sanded and compounded the tank. I haven't polished it or anything. It's got no protection on it whatsoever. But you can see the slight haze that I left, Jeff, on the tank. And that's okay, because I'm going to put the Optimum Clear Coat Restorer on all these painted surfaces, the fenders and all that. And you want it slightly hazed and scratched, Jeff, before you apply that stuff, because it is essentially a wipe-on self-leveling clear coat, and it likes it when it's like that, so that it has something to grip onto. And the clear coat will make all that disappear and give it a nice hard shine like what's on my Mustang. So I've still got to redo the rest of the car, but I don't know if you can see it real good from here. But Jeff, I did put the Optimum Clear Coat Restore on the hood of my Mustang, and it come out real nice. I like that stuff a lot. It's a little pricey, Jeff. 9 ounces of it will cost you around $100. And if you decide to try it on anything that you own, I would suggest watching all the videos you can find about it and on it before you try it yourself, and maybe try a little bit on a test panel somewhere, because it's a little difficult to work with. Not as easy as they make it look in the Optimum videos, but it's not terribly hard. But it does take a little bit of careful application and a little bit of practice to kind of get it right. And you can see I took the chain guard off, Jeff, so I can, when I get back here to the rear wheel, I can access that a little bit better. The chain guard's over there. I'll probably repaint that while I got it off. What do you think, Jeff? Good idea? It's just plastic. I'll probably just spray it with some Duplicolor or something like that. And Jeff, I went ahead and ordered what they call paddock stands. I don't know if you're familiar with what those are. You know, they just go kind of like up under, and then you rock them back, and it lifts this end of the motorcycle up. I got one for the rear and the front. And you could put them both on at one time, so you've got the whole bike elevated. But all I need is, it makes, like when I get ready to do this rear wheel, it makes it so much easier cleaning it up and stuff like that, because you don't have to move the motorcycle back and forth like I did the front one, which is easier anyway. You know, because I could polish this part down in here, then I had to move the motorcycle so I could access the rest of it. Oh, moving it back and forth and back and forth. So I figured, hey, Miss Kathy, hey, Megan Walker, how are you? So then I'll be able to lift this up, and then as I work on this, I'll just be able to spin the wheel around without having to move the motorcycle back and forth when I get those paddock stands in here. Should have got some long time ago. Miss Megan, Miss Kathy, I was just kind of catching everybody up on this, on my motorcycle I've been working on. It's a 93 Nighthawk 750. What my plans are back there, and I've polished up this stuff a little bit in here. If you saw the previous video, you know it looked really terrible before I started. And I have cleaned up, sweat sanded, and drill brushed and all that stuff. This side of the wheel, got some of the rust off that rotor. Haven't polished it yet. But this side is completely done on the front wheel. And you can see it turned out real nice looking for as old a motorcycle as this is. You know, and polished the sides of the motor, that area there, that area there. Just kind of cleaned those parts up a little bit. Didn't really polish it because it's so hard to get into those fins, but I cleaned them up as best I could. Like I say, on a 1993, that makes it how old? If you can do the math, you're quicker than me, and most people are. But it's not bad considering it wasn't maintained well appearance-wise over the years, and I'm playing a lot of catch-up here. But trying to make it look as good as it can without taking the motorcycle apart or ordering new stuff for it, just trying to make it look as good as it possibly can. And I've compounded and wet sanded all these painted surfaces, but not polished them, because I was telling Mr. Wigington a while ago that you can see it's kind of hazy looking there. Well, it's dirty right now from all the polishing, but you want that haziness before you apply the Optimum Clear Coat Restorer. You don't want it as perfect as it can. You don't want it smooth. You want it a little bit rough. That gives that Optimum Clear Coat Restorer something to kind of grab a hold to, and it will fill all that in, all that haziness you see, and scratching and all that sort of stuff. Of course, it's dirt. It's done got dirty again. That's not a big deal. I'll just wipe it down with Optimum Clear Coat and then paint prep it before I get ready to do that. But you can see it's coming along. It's a slow, tedious process that tests your patience, particularly when you're doing your own and you're not getting paid for it. I have a lot more patience doing other people's vehicles because I know there's money coming at the end. All I'm getting out of this is self-satisfaction on a motorcycle I rarely ride. You can see these shocks, rear shock springs are all rusted and pitted. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Those need replacing anyway, which I probably will do. And Jeff, those shocks, the front ones, the seals need to be replaced. The oil or fluid needs to be changed in those, which I understand you can rebuild those without buying new ones. And one day, sometime in the future, I'll give that a shot. But since I don't ride it very far, very often anyway, I'm not overly worried about that, because I don't weigh much anyway. And Jeff, if you're still there, I got this motorcycle from Bo Giles. And you know, he weighs a hell of a lot more than I do. He rode the hell out of it. But anyway, I'm going to be getting to work here in a few minutes. If you have a comment, say something to me down there. Say something to me. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm pretty sure I know where you are, Jeff. But you never know with Jeff. He's kind of a traveling man sometimes. You know how those retired sheriffs are. Hey, Lordy, Lordy. Yeah. But give me a thumbs up or a like or whatever the heck it is you do here on Facebook Live. And I'll get back to y'all later when I've made some more progress. And if you see these on YouTube, my YouTube channel, if you'll subscribe, then when I post new videos on YouTube on this project and other ones, you'll be able to catch, it'll notify you so you can keep up with the projects that I am working on. And hopefully I'll get a paying one coming in here soon. All this rain has pretty much killed this business for now. Although the rain and the weather don't bother me, I guess most people figure it's not worth worrying about when it's going to rain in a couple of days anyway. Of course, when my car gets rained on or gets wet, I make sure I bring it in here and dry it off and get rid of the contaminants from the rainwater that splashed up on it off the roadway. And the rainwater itself has, I've read articles about 20 different chemicals in it that it picks up when it falls down through the atmosphere. So I don't want that stuff drying on my paint and becoming bonded to the clear coat. And then if you leave it there, it doesn't take very long. It starts to embed, particularly cars that have to live outside a lot. So anyway, I'm going to get back to work, you guys. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate you tuning in and watching my boring videos. Bye now.